want a D2, so here we want to say, if you start with this tricolored and you move over, you change it like this, is there a way to tricolor this? Okay, so I guess there's two cases when the strands are the same or different, right? If these are the same, like say this is M and M, and we do this, I guess it's M, right? Because this is going out of the picture and it's already been colored M, so as it comes into the picture and goes out, it should still be, it's one strand here, part of one strand. It should still be M, right? So similarly with this one's coming in here, but it ends here, the strand ends here, so I guess M. But this part goes out and it was colored, right? It was colored M even as going out here, so this is M. But I guess it's possible we could try to color this something else. So which color should we pick though? If we want this to be a tricoloring, Nodder? M, right? Because we're sort of forced, because in this, if you look at this crossing, here's already M, here's the overstrand, here's M, and we only want one or three colors to appear. Right? So we're forced to pick M. And if we check the conditions here, picking it all one color works. I guess picking all one color always works, but now we have to check. So I guess if the two strands in D1 are the same color, M, we use M for the new strand that appears, because there's a new strand that appears in this picture, right, in D2. For the new strand that appears in D2. In the modified part, let's say, in the modified part, of, I guess, D1. I guess I should put in to get D2. Maybe I should set to go from, that appears when you go, it doesn't matter, it's kind of annoying a little bit, but that appears after doing the type 2 move. Let's just leave it at that. I think everybody knows. So I guess here we have to check though that the new thing, just because we found some way of coloring the new thing doesn't mean it works, right? So what are two things we need to check? We need to check there's at least what? Two colors. So there were two colors before. Did we lose any colors? No, right? We didn't lose any colors, so there must still be at least two, right? So the other thing is, the crossings that appear, like the old crossings are still outside in this picture somewhere, right? Right, but we didn't touch anything outside the picture, so the conditions should still hold outside the picture. Right, it's only inside the picture that we need to check this crossing. So that the crossings are the two new crossings that appear are the tricoloring conditions. Does that hold? What's the tricoloring condition for a crossing? Right, so Blaze, does it hold or not? Oh, okay, she's just really bored.
It does hold.
Yeah, it does hold, yeah. But you're so bored, I guess I just have to jab you with a stick. Alright, so, okay, let's see what this is. Again, at least two colors work. And two colors are used for D2. Since we didn't decrease the number of crossings, or we didn't decrease the number of colors, sorry. Since we didn't decrease the number of colors, and then I guess now we'll say something that will be useful as like a terminology thing. So the tricoloring condition for crossings is trivially satisfied. I guess what does that mean? It's just really obvious from the way we did it. It's just obvious. So we didn't really have to do any work there. Okay, so I guess now what's the other case? I mean, you might be like, oh, we're done, but remember, we assumed they're colored the same. I guess we could now assume they're colored differently. And now we have to actually do a little bit of work here. Right? If they're colored differently, then there's some choices that are still forced on us. Maybe it's good to think about this. What's the sort of forced colorings on here? Remember, because we don't want to change anything outside. We have no idea what's going on outside. We start changing things outside and we're lost. I guess, Blaze?
The strand on the left still has to be M.
Because this goes over and this goes out, so it comes in and out, but it should still be colored M to match up with the rest of the projection. So this is still M. Kind of put it near each crossing so it's easier to see. Sean? Right, so this coming in is N, this coming in is N. Right, so this thing, maybe I guess Luke's, he feels kind of lonely, he's been raising his hand. But so what's this have to be then?
Anything. Z.
Then, well, oh, you mean any letter, right. We should pick a different letter though. So let's see, L. K, L. L is nearer to M and N. So I'll use L. Anyway, so the reason I couldn't use the same M or N because at this crossing I need a third color to appear because I already have two appearing. So this new strand, luckily I can choose L. Then you might work, oh, what about here? But luckily it's sort of symmetrical in a way, so this still works also. The choice of L, third color, still works down here. So you can see it's forced. I guess at some point you realize while doing this that all the choices are sort of forced to some extent. And if it doesn't work, you're screwed. And if it works, then you're not. So I guess we should say, suppose the two strands are colored differently. I'll maybe make this a little bit brief here. Then I'll just say what the answer is. Then for the new strand that appears, in D2, we use the third color. And then the tricoloring conditions are then obviously satisfied. So the tricoloring conditions are then obviously satisfied. Okay, so I think this is why the book, now I realize why the book, actually when I was writing this, I realized why most people, like I guess I've never seen them do every single possibility in a book. Usually they leave something to the exercises or something. So in your textbook you'll notice they leave the Master 3 for the exercises because it's a little more involved. But I guess